The YouTube algorithm is really good.
It is, but this video is not about algorithm tricks. It is about something much more fundamental.
How do you view the world of content creators going into the future?
I would say be selfish. Be more selfish.
Well, I've compiled 20 clips where Naval shares 11 things that I found so true for anyone who creates content. I'm Jordan, made over $5 million. Got videos like this and this with over 1 million views. And here is the first insight.
How do you view the world of content creators going into the future?
I would say be selfish. Be more selfish. Make sure you really enjoy your work. Make sure you really are only working with the people that you really like working with. Make sure you are only have the guests on that you're proud to have on, that you genuinely want to have conversations with, because I think the value, you've already built something of incredible value and it's going to continue compounding. So the value now is about the longevity. How long can you keep it going? Whether you go to episode 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 matters more than, you don't want to be in a grinder mode. If you're just grinding, you're going to burn out, and the day you burn out, this thing is over.
Be more selfish, record with people you like, or talk about the things that you are curious about. Now, if you listen closely, Naval said this.
I've already built something of incredible value and it's going to continue compounding. So the value now is about the longevity. How long can you keep it going?
So you have to understand that this is tailored advice to him, a creator who already has millions of subscribers and makes enough money from it. So then the question is, should you also be selfish if you're not making a living from YouTube or your content yet? Well, the answer to that question comes at the end of the video. But first, what could happen if you're not selfish?
You don't want to be in a grinder mode. If you're just grinding, you're going to burn out, and the day you burn out, this thing is over.
If you are less selfish, you have a higher risk of burnout and the compound interest stops. But is that really true? Can't you just be disciplined like Alex or Moses?
Discipline is really overrated. Discipline is just you fighting with yourself to do something you don't want to do.
Discipline is fighting with yourself to do something you don't want to do. So if Alex or Moses' advice of follow the plan, follow your mood is overrated, then what is the truth?
I would say it's more important to find something that you want to do and that can be productive.
So the dilemma here, I think, for most creators is, do I create my next video for views, for the algorithm? Or do I create what I want to explore today and then optimize for the money stuff afterwards? Like the titles, packaging and thumbnail stuff. Talking about thumbnails, here are my free Photoshop templates to create thumbnails. Like this, and this in minutes. Again, completely free. I will put the link somewhere below. Anyways, back to Naval. What is the truth about following your curiosity?
That is the highest calling, creating something for yourself because you want it to exist. Now, nobody's perfect. We're not all going to get there. And there's always going to be external motivations. But the more internally motivated you can be, the more the thing itself is the reward, the better the work you will do. And the more fulfilling it is. So that's kind of what I aim for.
I repeat, the more internally motivated you can be about writing or recording about that topic, the more your creation process itself is the reward and the better content you create, right? And the more fulfilling it feels. Here's why.
It's not done for any external purpose. If you're doing it for money, it's less, you're hurting its capability to be art. It's not to say it can't still be great art, but you're now beholden to other interests. It's like motivated reasoning. It's like true scientists try to figure things out to fulfill their desire to figure things out, right? And the moment they figure it out, it's complete. They don't need a Nobel Prize or a Fields Medal afterwards. And in fact, some of the better ones have rejected that. Or like famously Bob Dylan, I think, rejected the Pulitzer Prize or whatever it was. Like he got some massive prize, didn't even show up, didn't even bother because he knows his music is good. He created it for himself.
Creating for yourself or for the algorithm. For example, some time ago, this video of mine went viral, got over 1 million views. And I could create more videos similar to that one, which are more likely to go viral, which is the external motivation in this example, right? But I didn't like that topic, which means I now have to discipline myself.
Self-discipline it's tough. You won't sustain it. Like, Tiger Woods didn't become a great golfer through self-discipline.
Discipline is not sustainable, but it can be a natural byproduct of your obsessions. And what I hear Naval saying is that Tiger Woods, but also Alex Hormozy or Mr. Beast, did not become this successful because of discipline, but despite it, they followed their natural obsessions, and thus discipline became more of a natural byproduct. And what happens when you follow your natural obsessions?
Your best ideas are going to be worth more than all the rest. My best tweets, the few best tweets, you're only judging your best work, not your worst. So in that sense, being high output is really good.
You heard that? High output is really good. And isn't it true that when you create about what you are interested in on a given day, a given minute, in that specific moment, that it becomes easy? And that when you do that you create much more content? Think about it. But then is creating a lot of videos about all the things you're curious about a good idea?
Which is not to say you can just shortcut to it, but most effort in in life in that sense is wasted, but it's both training wheels for the winning one, plus you just never know when or where the right thing is going to emerge. So you kind of just have to keep moving.
You create more when you prioritize your curiosity. Why? Well, because it's easier to get into flow state, isn't it?
In a flow state, your mind isn't obsessing with itself. You're not thinking about yourself. You're focused on the thing. You're focused on the activity. It's a meditative state. It's a state where, like, for example, if you're drawing or painting, then you are the brush, you are the paint. You're only thinking about that. And there is no internal chatter. You're not saying, oh man, I can't wait for dinner, or I can't believe my wife said this to me. That's all gone. And and you're also operating at the edge of your capability. So it's interesting enough that you are being stressed, you're being strained, you're operating at the edge, but it's not so far forward that you are being confused or you're like obviously screwing up. So flow state is a wonderful thing. It's a very meditative state.
And what I found to be true after making over 600 videos and preparing them is the following.
The surest way to not be in a flow state is to try to be in a flow state, right? Because it's that effort.
Effort. If creating content feels like effort to you, it's probably because you're not that interested in the thing itself, learning it, whatever it is, but only interested or mostly interested in the result that comes from posting that video or thing on Instagram. So then how to get into this flow state more effortless?
It comes much more from you find things that you like to do. And because you like to do something, you're interested in it, you're going to get good at it. You're going to be doing it. And as you're doing it, you're climbing that ladder of mastery. And you can climb that ladder in literally anything. As you get more and more into it, you're going to be more and more in flow.
But then does it mean you want to stop making videos for the algorithm, for the view, for the AdSense or sponsors? Should you let go of all of these desires?
And we can't help it. We're desiring creatures. You wouldn't even be here on this earth if you weren't a desiring creature, right? You just lie there in the dirt and let worms eat you. So you are a desiring creature, but you just have to be careful with your desires.
There's no right or wrong, no good or bad. Just understand the consequences of your desire. So don't wonder why you don't enjoy creating your videos, or don't wonder why you're not making enough money from it yet. All the truths are in this video, so avoid the following.
Make sure you truly understand it and that it is true. Truth is the most important thing, because if you're going ahead with falsehoods because they're convenient, you're just going to walk around bumping your head against reality and wondering why it hurts.
Understand the consequences so you don't walk around bumping your head against reality, wondering why it hurts. So here are the 3 truths. The more forced a content piece feels, the less enjoyable it becomes. The desire for a specific external outcome, for example, 1 million views, will increase this force. So it all comes down to what are you willing to prioritize? Either learning more, either leaning more onto the spectrum of following your curiosities, less force, more joy and flow, thus a higher output with less effort, or just understand the consequences of leaning more towards creating for others, and that will lead to more force. So that's why you feel less joy and why you experience more friction to get into flow state, and thus less output, and you're not uploading daily or even weekly. Not that it matters, by the way. Anyways, if money is the only reason you don't follow your curiosity, then why not find a way to make money from your curiosities? I mean, isn't that the only thing withholding you from a life that doesn't feel wasted as much?
Life is actually really long. It's really, really long. It's just that we waste it. We fritter it away. We fritter it away because we're, doing things that we think are low value, or we're mortgaging the present to try, for some imagined future.
Mortgaging the present for imaginative future. So isn't that why you don't create the things that you actually care about? Because you think more views, more emo subscribers, more money will lead to a better future?
I think hope is kind of a trap.
Because of hope? Why is hope a trap?
Because hope is you basically thinking things are going to be better tomorrow, and so not really embracing what you have today. And, if you're in a very difficult situation, maybe you need hope. But I think in general, it's bad to live a life full of hope because it's throwing today away.
So then what is the solution?
The easiest way to get out of that, it's not easy, is just to start living the life that you want now, not putting it off. And I'm guilty of that too. Everyone's guilty of that. We just put off our lives.
If you keep creating content about the things that you don't find that interesting because of hope and desiring an external outcome such as views or money, then you will simply waste time from an internal perspective because you don't enjoy the times you spend on the creation process as much. So the real questions here, I think, are what do you desire more? Joy, flow state, effortlessness, right? The internal stuff, the internal motivations? Or right now in this part of your life, do you still care about the external, the algorithm, the views, the money? I mean, neither is good or bad, they're just consequences. And then the second question, arguably the more important one, do you believe that creating about what you are really interested in will not allow you to make money from it? Think about it. Is that a belief you hold? Or that it will take you much more time before you start making money from it? If you really believe that to be true, because the algorithm doesn't like this or that, then have you thought about creating a YouTube channel or Instagram account for every of your interests? Well, that's what I did. And I share more about doing this stuff strategically and other tactical things so that you can monetize following your curiosities in this video. See you there or not. Anyways, talk soon.